Welcome to Cathy Chat. As you know, I get to meet with fantastic people all the time. And today is no exception to that awesome rule. You get to hear from the one and only Stephanie Zimmerman. Take it away, my friend. How are you?
I am doing exceptionally well today. It's finally officially spring, and I am so excited to be on the winter.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I think so many people have been saying, how am I doing? It's almost spring. We're here. This is it.
Right. Yeah. It's been awesome, and especially the way that our world has been over the last year, officially a year now, I guess. And
Hard to imagine.
yeah, it's been such a crazy time, and that's one thing that I'm really excited about with what I do, and I'm really excited to be here. So thanks so much for having me today.
Oh, absolutely. And I love, love, love learning new things and learning about people. And we were just discussing a minute ago in the off broadcast studio, as they call it, that we met, what would you say, 2 years ago, maybe three? I don't even remember when you
2019, 2019,
was it?
a few years ago.
Oh my gosh. And the one and only Tina Cochran introduced us the first time. And then one thing led to another, and we started networking together. Tell us about Stephanie Zimmerman. This is so
Yeah, it's been crazy. So the last 2 years has been really crazy for us with moving. My husband's in the food service industry world, and he's been transferred and promoted twice in the last 2 years. So we've been
wow.
moving, and yeah, and it's been really great because it has forced me to make my business a priority instead of it just being a side project for me.
There we
Um,
go.
so my business is the Fun Life Guide. I am an integrative nutrition health and wellness coach. I focus on um, helping women to really feel confident within themselves, no matter what the scale says. I personally have struggled with my weight like since high school, like so many of us women have. And really, I found that I'm going to be 40 this year. So the last 20 plus years, you know, uh, yo-yo dieting and trying to be like, oh, is this the right way? Is this the right way? Or something like that. Something was always off. Um, and through my own journey, I've really found that the mental aspect of things has really been the key to making that change. Um, so I call myself the Fun Life Guide. That's what it's about. Like we are meant to live fully and abundantly. The Bible says it. It's right there. And so we get so stuck, especially with the quote unquote diet culture of our country, of this food is good, this food is bad. You need to do this much exercise. You need to do, all these rules and regulations, it seems like, around what it means to be healthy. And so that just gives us so much anxiety, and I'm doing it wrong. Even just our verbiage, talking about cheat days, like that means you're doing something wrong, and it shouldn't be that way. And we shouldn't. I want women to know that it's okay to have cake and eat it. You can't just not look at it, especially there's so many times when I remember, in years past, like I want to go out with my girlfriends and have drinks and have the nachos and all the things. And then I get there and I'm just like staring at the big plate of nachos on the table and thinking, like this battle in my brain about like, do I have it? Do I not have it? Do I have it? Do I not have it? Do I have the margarita? Do I just, and like calories and like trying to figure all these things in my head. And then that ruins the night, like at the end of the day. And now, like since I've made changes in myself and focusing on my mental wellness as a priority, in combination with the physical health, like my husband and I went out today and I went and had a cheeseburger for lunch, and I have no guilt about it because I had a smoothie for breakfast this morning and I'll have a reasonable dinner. So like you have this balance that you have to find within yourself. Um, so many of us are so conflicted about that kind of thing.
One of the things that you mentioned, and first of all, thefunlifeguide.com is Stephanie's amazing website. And think about just like you said, it's the head games. It's the verbiage. I can't this, I can't that, I can't something. You're out with your girlfriends and looking at that plate of nachos, and instead of being able to enjoy your friends, eat, drink, and be merry kind of thing, it's one of those, oh my gosh, should I, should I, should I? And it's all the messages out there really are very confusing.
Right. Every year there's a new diet. Like it was um, keto for a while, and now like, intermittent fasting is like coming along, and there's nothing wrong with those, but we get in this mindset as a culture and as a country that this is the right way. Everybody needs to do it this way. Everybody needs to do it. If you're not doing it this way, you're doing it wrong, or whatever the case may be. Um, and there isn't one right way to do it. Everybody has their own individual life. Like Cathy, your life is completely different than my life. Like I have young children at home. I have animals abounds that we were talking about. You're too. So my life is really busy and crazy, and I have my own things, and your life is busy in its own way. And so it's really finding that balance for yourself in a way that makes you feel like if you can wake up in the morning and say like I feel good about me today, everything else is good. Instead of like I used to dread Mondays and look forward to Fridays and then cram everything into the weekend because that's the only time that I had. I mean, granted, now I have the luxury of being able to work for myself and have, but I'm so much more busy now that I'm a business owner,
Yeah.
you know? Um, so yeah, it's really that mental wellness, especially right now in 2021 and going forward, really the next like 24 months probably is going to be so key for mental health with everyone in our country right now.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. You mentioned about being a certified health coach.
Hmm.
Tell us about that. I mean, how you dumb down the things that we keep hearing, do this, don't do that. You dumb that down for us, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, absolutely. So I became a health coach in pursuit of a way to get myself healthy because I was like, if I can learn how to teach other people how to do it, I can surely, hopefully, I mean, that's, do it for myself. Like, so in 2017, I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. They're based out of New York, an online program. So I studied for a year to we looked at different types of diets, different coaching styles, and really getting down to like the really root cause of what's going on in your life. So if you say to me like Stephanie, I'm having trouble with um, finding healthy options, so then we talk about, well, what kinds of things, or especially one is I don't like vegetables. That's one thing that people say a lot. And so, I mean, that's something that you kind of have to get over if if you are wanting to get healthy. But then we think about, okay, there's tons of different kinds of vegetables and there's a million different ways of preparing them. So let's try a few options and really holding a person's hand through that transition and saying, I've got your back. You're not doing it wrong. I'm here for you. If you need help, you can call me and text me and email me. If you are finding like if you're going out with your girlfriends on Friday and you're just like panicking about what am I going to do, just having that conversation, being that person to really just have your back, and come it down and say what is right for you. What do you think in your life is the correct answer at this point? I'm not going to tell somebody you need to eat 1,200 calories, this much carbs, this much fat, and break it all down because that's what's gotten me in trouble in the past. Just talking about um, calories. There's so many people burn them in different rates and activity. It just gets so complicated. And there is the not eating enough. Sometimes people get stuck in a plateau because they're starving their bodies. So I'm like, have a little extra something, or go out and have what you would call a cheat meal, and you're probably gonna like kickstart your body because it's like nourished. It has the fuel and energy that you need, to go forward and actually make those changes.
You've mentioned several times about certainly the pandemic, global pandemic,
Hmm.
and everyone is, quote, stuck at home, even though for those of us in the networking world, that is a piece of my business that has actually thrived because my network has gotten ginormous during the shutdown time because everything went online. If you're able to coach your clients online and you're noticing that obviously we're home now, what does that look like to be able to teach a sensible meal, just like you mentioned with the cheeseburger thing, a sensible meal because you had a shake and the cheeseburger in the middle, and that's not going to wreck your whole day. Forget it, I'll start tomorrow. It sounds like you've got a fabulous grasp on balance. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's really being home has helped with that because I mean, if somebody's wanting to make a change, being home now is the perfect time to do it because you have access to your kitchen all day long. You know, it's both a good and a bad thing. We have to learn about, are you actually hungry? Do you really need a snack right now? Those kind of things, because sometimes people go the opposite direction of I'm just going to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat all day.
Is that wrong?
If it's out of boredom, like if we have to kind of redirect some energy, we have to do that sometimes with clients too. Um, if they're, I feel like I'm always hungry. That's another answer or another question or comment that I get from clients too. And so we have to think about, was it actually hungry? Are you bored? Are you anxious? Are you really just slightly dehydrated? You need to drink a giant glass of water. Like there's so many different things that we can talk through and experiment with. And like I said, especially being at home, we can practice cooking things in a different way. If I have a client that, I work with clients virtually, especially right now, but also I always have worked virtually with clients because I don't have a physical location. Um, but you can put me up on your little phone in the kitchen and we can do it together. Okay, try a little bit of extra seasoning, like put Italian seasoning on your green beans one time and that'll just change the way it tastes. And those kind of things. So yeah, being at home is a great time to start making changes because you can have access to everything you need instead of, oh, I forgot my lunch, or Starbucks is across the street from where I work. you know,
That's rough right there. I can imagine.
I used to work when I lived in Des Moines. I used to work at a building that was directly across from Starbucks. I legitimately went 2 to 3 times a day. It was
Yeah.
really bad on my waistline and my pocketbook.
Oh my gosh. But you think about it, there's nothing like that spectacular smell that comes out of one of those dynamic roasting places. And as soon as you smell that, you're like, oh my gosh, I have got to have coffee. Even if you're not a coffee person, you
Right.
smell that and you go, oh my gosh, whatever that is, I want it. So I can understand that too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mentioned that not all of your clients are local and certainly you don't have a brick and mortar. If you're able to work with people online, then obviously your network is vast from a standpoint of global accessibility now. How would someone actually find you, or what would they be looking for to find Stephanie Zimmerman, thefunlifeguide.com? How do people find you mostly? Referrals, or what does that look like?
At this point, it's mostly referrals. I am starting to be more active when it comes to social media and those type of things, being
Uh-huh.
Facebook and now starting me YouTube. Thank you, Cathy Weaver.
You're Stephanie Zimmerman.
you know, just get out there and help people to, hopefully others can share and see what I'm all about. When it comes to online, that is the tricky part. There's not really um, when you Google like health coach or something like that, you're going to get 10 million different results. And really, for me, it's not about taking anybody and everybody. I really feel like the relationship that someone would have with a coach is a very special relationship because we have to talk about a lot of hard things sometimes to really get down to the nitty gritty about different things. And if you don't have that level of trust and that level of compatibility, you're not really going to get you're not get as a client you're not going to get out of it what you want to for the money that you're paying me to be your coach. And
Yeah.
as the coach, I'm not going to be able to get, that give and take that has to happen. Think about a therapist. If you go to a therapist for anxiety, depression, relationship coach, counseling, any of those kind of things, if you don't have that relationship, it's not gonna you're not gonna get out of it what you need to. And so I am all about having somebody try it out, basically. Give everybody a free hour to just sit down and chat with me and see how they're doing, how I can help them, if we're a good fit for each other. And um, there have been times where someone would want to hire me, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm a good fit for you, but I have other people. So I have a lot of other connections in the health and wellness field, obviously. Um, we're kind of a small family,
Yes.
so very likely that I could say, you know what, you're, maybe you're in the younger demographic that's, no kids or something like that. Maybe not be the best fit for me, not necessarily like completely out the door, but
Yeah.
there's people that I know that if you're 21 years old and you make healthy changes, that's their market. And if there's somebody that is, 70 plus that's looking to make healthy changes, I have a connection for that also too. That would be a better fit to manage those lifestyle changes. So, um, yeah, anytime that anybody is looking for changes, I'm open to referrals for sure, and sharing any information with them.
That is awesome. And think about this too. It's so amazing that you said if it's not a good fit for you and that person to work together, you have a network of other people who would be more honed in on a specific challenge, maybe differently than you. And for you to be so perceptive to realize this might be an opportunity for me to connect you with another one of my network coaches. And that really is what makes the world go round. I'm so serious about that. You are great at that, and connecting people is definitely a biggie. I did want to ask you one more thing before we hit the road today. Um, do you sell products within your coaching business, or people get you, and so it's not a product driven business? What does that actually look like for those who are listening with us today?
I do partner with a company called Amari Global. It's the first mental wellness company focusing on the gut brain connection. So, as far as products go, those are absolutely my go to focus on that gut brain connection to help with the mental wellness side of things. It's not required for my programs, but it's going to give that added boom, to get to that next level, sometimes over that hump or over that plateau. So, that is something that I offer for people also as well. I am working on a kind of a scaled down DIY type version, something that somebody can do on their own. That'll be on my website hopefully this month in April, um, to be able to, kind of have a taste of me and my style. And this is what I do and what I'm about. And then they can, if they want to make that next step into one-on-one, that would be great. Coming this fall in September, I will have an 8-week masterclass is what I'm calling it. So it'll be 8 weeks talking about everything from um, getting your mindset right. What does it mean to actually eat right? Functional movement, which means anything and everything is counting as exercise, like walking to your mailbox and back a day if you're really busy. You don't have to do 30 minutes of
Yeah.
hard intense workout, making it fit for your own life, um, and going through that. So that'll be coming this fall also, to which I'm really, really excited about. So.
Oh, I can imagine that you are. It sounds like you are just going absolutely great with this business. I love that. When we got to meet in Kansas City several years ago, as we discussed, all of a sudden you moved, and that actually seriously doesn't matter. We can't see each other in person, but being able to see you on some of these platforms and other networking groups has been phenomenal. And the fact that your clients are able to work with you virtually and you get to do a free 1 hour consultation.
Mm-hmm.
I just think this is the most incredible business model ever. And I am so thrilled for your success.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been, um, if anything, the whole 2020 pandemic has been an absolute blessing for me and my business, because it's really just catapulted um, me into saying, okay, I've got to do this. It's now or never. might as well just do it, just get out there and trying to connect with people as much as possible from, I made so many connections in Kansas City over the year that we lived there. And then I have, I grew up in the Des Moines area. And so now I have connections there, and we can all do Zoom and Facebook and all the different things. We are definitely moving into a virtual world, and we all need to kind of embrace that, but then also be mindful of how that affects us mentally also too, and do what we can to um, combat any of that anxiety and stress that comes.
Yes.
I can only see people on the computer, you know. And the next 2 years are going to be crucial, I think.
I agree with you so much. I really do. And once again, in our world, you wake up every day and things are different. And so it really is a matter of what is the constant now. And it's literally your network, your friends, the
Mhm.
people you get to meet with every day, your clients, your prospects, your referrals. It really is a punt and pivot situation. Well, my friend, we're just about at the end of our time together. Is there anything in the whole world that we haven't discussed yet that you would like to share with our listeners?
I think we covered a majority of it, a good majority of it. So, I mean, I could talk for hours, and I mean, you know that about me.
Yeah, I was gonna say Facebook and StreamYard and Anchor might shut us down. I don't know.
I know, right? So, I mean, I absolutely, I love what I do, and I am so excited to be able to bring it to all of your viewers, and then share with my network also too. And so, I thank you so much, Kathy, for having me today. And yeah, hopefully we can do it again soon.
I would love that so much. For those of you listening and watching with us, we have today Stephanie Zimmerman, and her email is steph@thefulllifeguide.com. And of course, her website is the full life, is that right? Fun, me,
But
thefunlifeguide.com. And then you'll be able to connect with this superstar and not only get to see if that 1 hour consultation turns out to be a good fit with the relationship, but since she knows just about everybody on the planet now, I'm sure she's got someone that she could connect you with. So thank you so much for being with me today on Cathy Chat, my friend.
yeah, thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And to all of you listening, stay tuned for the next Cathy Chat.